Women are coming forth to the business arena with ideas to start small and medium entrepreneurs. They are willing to be inspired by role models, the experience of other women in the business arena. Women entrepreneurs Okay, madam, audible?
Now it is audible, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
Women entrepreneurs is a group of women who initiate, organize, and operate a business enterprise. Women entrepreneur is constant, creative, and innovative women desiring economic independence individually and simultaneously creating employment opportunity for others. The role of women at the work and she will be able to feed not only for her family but for her employees as well. The change in the opportunities for women is growing. A job seeker, creator, they are growing as a designers, exporters, publishing, clothing, and always looking for more economic participation. So today, what are the opportunities are there? What are the schemes are there? What facilities our students can make use of? Regarding this, will be given by our resource person, Sri Siddharam Sangulgi. I invite him for this today's session. We have done an inauguration session, and I get to know that students are from Gurukha College, Government College, Raichur, Gulbarga, Jamshedpur, Bijapur. Really, madam, it's a wonderful session. Everyone, I request all the students to make best utilization of this. And I also congratulate the Department of Commerce and Management. Also congratulate Commerce and Management for organizing such a wonderful event, virtual special lecture. With this, I welcome all of you for this session once again, and over to Uma Madam. Please continue, Madam.
Thank you so much, sir, for that encouraging speech. Thank you so much. Now I call upon Aarti Joshi to introduce our guest. Aarti Joshi.
Yes, good morning all. It's a great pleasure for me to introduce our speaker today, who is going to talk about government schemes and institutional support to promote women entrepreneurship. Sri Siddharama Sangulgi sir, who is District Innovation Associate, K-Tech Innovation Hub, New Age Innovation Network Center, PDA College of Engineering, Kalburgi, by qualifying in BE, SLNCE Raichur, and MTech from Chennai. Sir has knowledge about various certification courses like CCNP Voice, C-Voice, CIPT1, CIPT2, TShoot, UCCX, integration with CUCM. Sir is also certified in Cisco Certified Network Associate and Cisco Certified Network Associate Voice. By having a career objective to work in progressive work culture with freedom to be creative, innovative, and to excel and grow with the organization. an environment that will serve as a platform to learn and enhance my skills and where my knowledge and experience can be shared and enriched. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir, for coming.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you, Aarti. So that was the introduction of our guest. He has a eminent speaker. He has great knowledge. So without making any delay, I hand over the session to Sidram sir. Sidram sir, you can continue.
Are you able to hear me, ma'am?
A little louder, I feel. I want you to be little louder.
Are you able to hear me now?
Yeah, yeah. What about the girls? All the participants, can you hear the speaker? Just raise your hands. I don't want any.
Ma'am.
Yeah. Sir, you
Yes,
can
ma'am.
continue. Yeah, you
Yes,
can
ma'am.
continue.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning,
Girls,
sir.
no need to answer. You just raise your hands or put it in the chat. Please don't unmute yourself. Sir, please continue. Sidram sir, you are muted, sir. Sidram sir, we cannot hear you.
Is my voice audible now?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. Firstly, I would like to ask sorry for being late by 10 minutes. So there was some issue with my software here in laptop. I would like to thank entire team of Srimati Virama Gangasri Degree College and PG Center, especially Department of Commerce and Management, for giving me this opportunity. So, in today's session, we will be majorly focusing on, government schemes and institutional support to promote women entrepreneurship. So, in our first slide, we will be like seeing some highlighting points why women entrepreneurship is necessary in current scenario in India. Okay. So after our first slide, straight away we will be going to various schemes provided by our central government and state governments. So I will be sharing my screen now. And there is some issue with my laptop's camera. I will be going offline and again coming online. Give me just 2 minutes. I will be sharing my screen directly.
Okay, okay, sir.
So is everyone able to see my screen?
Yes, yes, sir.
So first, we'll be discussing on like why we need women entrepreneurship in current scenario in India. Just we have some important points to be highlighted on. So women-owned businesses are a powerful force in today's developed economies. Around 30% of all businesses in the US they are owned by women, and the patterns are similar in other countries also. All around the world, women are starting and operating their own businesses in record numbers. This, together with the growing interest in establishing social policy that permits genuine equality of the sexes, has led to the growth of public initiatives that fund services which support women and favor their presence in all parts of the society. The economic development of advanced countries of the world has been attributed to the growth of women entrepreneurs. In advanced countries, the majority of small enterprises have been managed by women. There are over 5 million women entrepreneurs, constituting 1/4 of all entrepreneurs in China. Keeping the experience of Western economies in mind, the government of India and our state governments also, they have set up, various institutions to promote women entrepreneurial activities. So now we will straight away go to what are the different schemes that are provided by our central government and the state government to support, women entrepreneurship. So the first scheme, what you can see here is trade-related entrepreneurship assistance and development. So we call it as trade scheme for women. Okay. So let us see what are the highlighting points of each of these schemes. Okay, how to apply and how we can go with these schemes. What are the major points related to these schemes? We are going to see those things. So this trade scheme, it's a scheme under Ministry of Micro, Small, Medium Enterprises, Government of India. This scheme envisages economic empowerment of women by providing credit, through this trade scheme envisages economic empowerment of women by providing credit, through various NGOs, training programs, development programs, and counseling extension activities related to trades, products, services, etc. So assistance in the form of Government of India grant of up to 30% of the total project cost, as appraised by the lending agency, is provided to non-governmental organizations, NGOs. So we have to prepare a report. We have to give the estimate to the government. So say if 10 lakhs is our estimation, so they will give us 30% subsidy. Okay, 30% will be paid by our Government of India. Remaining 70% we have to borrow it from our hands. That is the person who is running that particular business. The NGOs can utilize the grant for training, counseling, tie-ups for marketing on behalf of the beneficiaries, besides their own capacity building for assisting women. Selected training institutions and NGOs conducting training programs for empowerment of women beneficiaries identified under this scheme can also avail of Government of India grant of 1 lakh per program for imparting training to the women entrepreneurs, provided such institutions also bring their share of at least 25% of the grant. Okay, so if any NGO comes forward to give training to women on entrepreneurship aspects, So government will give them 1 lakh rupees for training purpose itself. So 25% again the training agency should give it from its own hand. So this is all about your trade scheme. Just a minute. Some pop-ups are on the screen. I just need to minimize those things. So again, in your trade scheme, need-based Government of India grant up to rupees 5 lakh per project is provided to reputed institutions, primarily for undertaking field surveys, research studies, evaluation studies, designing of training modules, etc. So for all these things, again, 5 lakhs per project is given to NGOs. So for getting this fund, they have to first prepare a report. They have to submit a proposal to the government, what they want to do exactly, and what will be its outcome, how many participants or how many participants they want to cover across the state or across India. So all that they have to include in their report. So again, we have National Entrepreneurship Development Institution, we have National Institute of Small Industry Extension Training, there is National Institute of Entrepreneurship and Small Business Development, Indian Institute of Entrepreneurship. Okay, then again, Entrepreneurship Development Institutes sponsored by state governments. We have a lot of such entrepreneurship development institutes, small industries service institutes. So all such premier institutes who are engaged in providing entrepreneurship training to women. So government is giving 5 lakh rupees to do field surveys, to do even research studies, to do evaluation studies, and to do training modules, to prepare training modules for the participants. So to apply for this trade scheme, so what is the eligibility criteria? So we have seen trade scheme is majorly for NGOs. Okay, individuals cannot get this particular scheme. Individual cannot get fund under this particular scheme. It is purely for NGOs. The grant is given to NGOs. So what is the eligibility criteria to get funding under this particular scheme, trade scheme? So there should be a legal entity with a minimum registration of 3 years. Okay, so it means like if you are registered entity today, if your entity is registered in 2020, you can apply for this trade scheme in 2023. It means your company should be at least 3 years old. Your legal entity should be at least 3 years old to apply for this particular scheme. So your NGO, it should have experience in thrift and saving programs. They should have work experience working with this self-help groups. Self-help groups, they will be available in villages, in rural areas. So your NGO, it should be already having experience working with this SHGs. We call them as self-help groups. Okay. So how to save the money, how to utilize the money in proper way. So they should be doing all such kind of awareness programs with this self-help groups. And your NGO, which it wants to apply for your trade scheme, it should be engaged in income generation activities for women entrepreneurs. Okay, so like they should have trained women group in rural areas to create some products, and out of those products they should generate some revenue, they should have generated some income. So that particular history will also be counted or evaluated when you are applying for this trade scheme. And your NGO, it should have basic infrastructure, qualified support staff and services to undertake micro enterprise development for women. Okay, so proper infrastructure is also required. So you are requesting government that you need fund 10 lakhs fund so that you can give training for 100 women in the rural area, but you should have the required infrastructure for that. 100 seaters, training room you should have projector, you should have laptop, you should have drinking water facility, you should have toilet facility to the women. So government will see all those things. It will not give fund or support to NGOs directly without having any facilities. So when it is going to give fund, it should evaluate all these things. It is going to evaluate all these things, whatever proper infrastructure is there or not. And they should have qualified, staff to deliver, the things that they want to give awareness about. Prior experience in preparing project proposals on behalf of women entrepreneurs or women SHGs for income generation activities, and take loan from financial institutions for onward disbursement to the women entrepreneurs. So, sorry, I have a throat infection. There is some problem with my throat.
So that's what I wanted to say. Can you speak a bit louder? Students are saying that they are unable to hear.
Yeah, ma'am. So there is throat infection.
Okay.
Yesterday there was some vaccination drive and
Okay.
distribution drive. So I was the speaker there. So there is some problem with my throat. Sorry for that.
Oh, sure.
So whatever NGOs who are going to apply, to this trade scheme to the government to get the funding, they should have prior experience in preparing project proposals. They should prepare a project proposal in a good manner. It should be in a convincing way. They should be highlighting what exactly they want to do, how they are going to do it, and what will be the outcome of it, and how much fund approximately they may need, to carry out that particular project. So they should be in a position. They should be in a position to prepare good project proposal. Only good project proposals will fetch a fund from the government. Okay, because you will not be given chance to talk to the government officials directly. Your project proposal or your project report will be talking to the government officials. So it should be in such a way that you should include all the required details in that. So whenever you are applying to the government for taking any fund from it, you should have good project proposal. So here I have mentioned, a link. I have mentioned link to avail this scheme, that is this trade scheme. So I will be sharing this particular PPT with Uma madam. So students can get this PPT afterwards. So this is all about our trade scheme. Now, sorry. The second scheme that is supporting women entrepreneurship, it is Awake. Sorry, are you able to hear me, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So Association of Women Entrepreneurs of Karnataka, okay, we call it as AWAKE, okay, Association of Women Entrepreneurs of Karnataka. It is a not-for-profit, non-governmental organization. It is also one NGO itself, and it is basically based from Bangalore, and it is working towards empowerment of women through entrepreneurship development to improve their economic condition. So why government is focusing on entrepreneurship development of women? Majorly to improve their economic condition. Government has come to the conclusion that so only through developing entrepreneurial skills and only by providing support to the women entrepreneurs we can improve the economic condition. So that's why there are lot of schemes providing a lot of crores of money to carry out these entrepreneurial activities. So what this AWAKE is doing, so it has taken up a lot of projects. This AWAKE, I told you, Association of Women Entrepreneurs of Karnataka. So one major project is HP companies CSR project. Do you know what do you mean by CSR? Can anybody tell me what is CSR? Am I audible to all?
Yes, sir.
So can anybody tell me what do we mean by CSR? Okay,
Corporate social responsibility.
yeah. So CSR is nothing but corporate social responsibility. Each of the organizations that are existing in India, they will contribute to some part of their income for the development of the society. Okay. So that is called a CSR fund. We call it a CSR fund. Infosys also having CSR fund. Infosys has constructed lot of toilets across India. Okay, that is from CSR fund to make it available for public. Pay and use toilets, are constructed by Infosys across Karnataka and across India. Okay, so such social works organizations will be doing. Each organization, it will be keeping some fund apart, okay, to do such activities to help people in some or the other way. Okay, so likewise HP also, it has got some CSR fund. So what these AWAKE people, AWAKE organization has did, it has taken CSR fund of HP and they wanted to give computer literacy to some 1,000 entrepreneurs, women entrepreneurs especially across Karnataka. Okay, so AWAKE has been selected to execute the HP Life project. Life is nothing but learning initiatives for entrepreneurs. So this program, this HP CSR project, it is majorly to promote computer literacy among 1,000 micro entrepreneurs and youth who are seeking additional skills. Okay, so already they have some basic skills of computer, they want some more additional skills, so that will be provided. That has been provided by AWAKE organization by using HP companies CSR fund. So what was the second project that this AWAKE people have taken up? So ICAR NAIP project. So AWAKE has taken up one more project called as ICAR NAIP project. So AWAKE is a consortia partner with University of Agricultural Sciences, Bangalore. Under the ICAR NAIP project on value chain commercialization of maize. In some parts of Karnataka, maize is grown heavily. So what this AWAKE organization thought, so let's educate rural women on this maize. Let's create some product out of maize and let's bring those products to the market. So they thought in that manner. So they were involved in value chain commercialization of this maize through this ICAR NEIP project. The aim of the project is to develop maize-based value-added health foods for nutritional supplementation, involving SHG women and farmers as stakeholders, right from production, processing, and marketing. So they wanted to involve women from self-help groups which were available in the villages, and some farmers also they have included. So they started giving knowledge on maize and what products we can prepare out of maize and how to take that product to the market, how to process that particular product. So all those things they started educating. Under this program, under this ICAR NEIP project of this Awake organization, so 250 self-help group women from 10 villages were trained in entrepreneurship, production, and marketing of maize-based products, and to use the common facility center set up at Malwadi, Mandya district. So there was one common facility center. So they used to call women from all those 10 villages every day to that particular center, that common facility center. They used to provide training to them. They used to train how to process the product. They used to, guide them how to use the machines. They used to tell them how to do the packaging. So everything they used to train them. So once the final product is ready, so they used to sell that product with the brand name Maize. Okay, with the brand name Maize. I think some of the participants, they have used these product already. So Maize Papad was also famous. Okay, some noodles were also there prepared from this particular company, that is Awake organization. So in this way, they wanted to educate the rural women, and they wanted to connect these product prepared by this rural women to the global market. So that was the role of this Awake organization. So you can take the help of Awake organization if anybody is preparing, similar kind of product. If anybody is willing to prepare similar kind of product, they will definitely help you. They will definitely help you. They will give some initial fund to you people. They will provide fund to buy machines also. They will provide, experts who will help you to prepare those products. So because food processing industry is not that easy one, because that food will be consumed by people. A lot of government organizations will be having their eyes on these particular food products. So you can take help, those who are willing to, start with their own product. Or see, in Vijay itself, last time when I visited, so there was one girl, I don't remember her name exactly. She was a batter. She was preparing, batter. She started her own business. So for all such businesses, you can take help of this organization called as Awake. Definitely, they will be helping you to take your, small firm or small whatever business you are setting up, to take it to next level. Definitely, these people, they will be helping us. So again, there was one more project by this Awake organization itself. We call it as RIP. RIP means usually we will be using it for a different thing, but here RIP in our context, it means rural industrial programs. Okay, rural industrial programs. So this program they have run in Koppal and Gulbarga district, this Awake organization itself, and the major aim of this particular project is to conduct EDP, entrepreneurship development programs, and skill training for women, with the aim of creating opportunities for establishment of small scale industries in these areas. Okay, they used to contact people in the rural area, and they used to inquire them. You want to set up any new business? Do you have idea of setting up any new business? Come to us. We will train us. We will give you skill development. So these were the awareness programs that were, delivered by this Awake organization, and it was again delivered by the support of DIC. In every district, there will be one center called as DIC, District Industry Center. Okay, so even they will be having lot of schemes to support, women entrepreneurship. You can visit, you can Google District Industry Center in Gulbarga. You will get its address. You can visit that office and you can inquire them what are the different schemes that are available to support, women entrepreneurship. Okay, these Awake people also, they have implemented their RIP project, that is Rural Industrial Program, through this District Industry Center only. Okay, so one more project that was, carried out by this Awake organization. It is nothing but it has partnered with NI MSME. Okay, MSME is nothing but Ministry of Micro, Small, Medium Enterprises, Government of India. Okay, so this Awake organization, it did collaboration with this ministry, and it used to conduct, various EDP and ESDP. EDP is nothing but Entrepreneurship Development Program. ESDP, it is nothing but Entrepreneurship Skill Development Program. So it used to conduct a lot of EDPs and ESDPs across various districts of Karnataka. So this is one more program that was run by Awake. And after that, Rural Entrepreneurship Development Program, we call it as REDP. Okay, so here the major focus was to train, rural unemployed youth in entrepreneurship development, to enable them to set up enterprises of their own in various districts of Karnataka. Okay, so other, projects, they were focusing on urban people as well as rural people. But this Rural Entrepreneurship Development Program, it was majorly focusing on rural women. Okay, it was majorly focusing on empowering the lives of rural women. So these were the various projects that were carried out by, Awake organization, which is based out from Bangalore. Okay, then we have one. So there is one more project that was run by this Awake, that is Food EDP, sponsored by MFPI. MFPI is nothing but Ministry of Food Processing Industry, Government of India. So it has also supported one project. It has also given one project to this Awake, that it should carry out some entrepreneurship development program to those people, to those women who are engaged in, food processing kind of businesses. So the main objective of this entrepreneurship development in food processing. Okay, the main objective of this Awake organizations, this last project, that is project sponsored by MFPI. What is the main objective of this particular project? To train and to empower women who are engaged in food processing. Okay, so Awake conducted entrepreneurship awareness programs and EDPs, follow-up meetings with a panel of resource persons and officials in the area of food consultancy, and financial assistance were also provided to the people who are willing to start their small-scale business in the food processing industry. So now we have seen various projects which were conducted by Awake. After that, we have various training programs also that were conducted by Awake. Projects are different and training programs are different. Okay, so entrepreneurship awareness program. So Awake used to conduct entrepreneurship awareness program. We used to call it as, we call them as EAP. EAP means Entrepreneurship Awareness Program. Entrepreneurship awareness programs are designed to bring awareness about entrepreneurship among women and youth by holding one-day entrepreneurship awareness programs in rural and urban areas and also in colleges. So they used to do only one-day program, awareness program. EAPs spread awareness about the need for socio-economic independence of women. Okay, now you know when you are dependent on men for your socio-economic needs. So what are the different problems that you may come across? So how we can become self-sustainable by becoming socio-economic independent. So that thing they used to go to rural places and they used to train them like how you can become socio-economically independent and how you can start earning yourself, how you can improve your lives. Okay, so all these things they used to teach them. Participants were also motivated for starting their own enterprise and briefed on the opportunities available for such enterprises. Okay, keeping in mind the local resources and technical feasibility. Wherever to whichever village they go, they used to see what were the local resources available in those villages. Okay, and how they can use those local resources and they can make improvements in their business. Okay, we cannot think of businesses that are globally successful. First, we have to think business how to make it successful locally by using the local resources. So that was the thing that was educated by awake people to the rural women. So they used to discuss on business ideas. They used to discuss on various schemes and incentives offered by various government departments again. So all these things they used to do during this entrepreneurship awareness program EAP that they used to conduct in rural areas. So after that we have one more kind of training that was provided by Awake organization, entrepreneurship skill development programs. Okay, ESDP, we call them as ESDP. So what is the difference between EDP and ESDP? In EDP, so we will be just educating them like what are the different opportunities that are available in villages. Okay, what are the different businesses you can start, how you can generate revenue through that business, how you can take your business to the global market, how you can do the product processing in your business. So all those things will be taught during awareness camp. But what is this entrepreneurship skill development program? Awareness program is different, whereas skill development program is different. In skill development, people will approach. So say some team, they will approach, we want to start papad processing company, we want to start papad manufacturing company. So I want skill particularly regarding that particular business. So likewise, different teams, they will be approaching with different ideas. They will be what this Awake used to do, they used to conduct need-based skill development programs for women in various sectors like food processing, handicrafts, tailoring, embroidery, garments, artificial jewelry, trading, eco-friendly products like we use cups, use and throw cups and all. No? So they are all eco-friendly products. Candle making, then chemical products, phenyl and all can be manufactured in home itself. So they all come under chemical products. Mushroom cultivation, herbal products, okay. Then catering services, motor coil winding, housekeeping, beautician training. So many of these services, okay. So and many other services which are related to industry. various industries. So they used to provide training. Awake, it is now also it is providing. Previously also they have provided a lot of training programs and their service is on till now. So they used to provide service on all these, various sectors. Okay, because without having proper knowledge of how to do tailoring, you cannot start with your tailoring business, right? And to start with this tailoring business, so from where you have to get funded, so how many manpower you may require. Okay, so all those skills they used to give to the rural women. During the programs, essential information are related to raw materials, product processing, development and designs, marketing the products, packaging, and quality control. All these things were provided. All this information are related to specific business. Say some person is coming and approaching this Awake organization. I want to start artificial jewelry business. How to process it, how to design the jewelry, okay, how to market the jewelry once it is ready. So all these things they were taught by this Awake organization. Okay. The programs are conducted for both urban and rural women and youth, considering the business opportunities and market trend of the environment. Okay. So they didn't give only specific kind of training. Whenever they go to any specific region, so they will see what is the opportunity in this region. Okay, what are the raw materials that are available in this region, what are the needs of the people in this region. So they used to analyze all these things and they used to encourage women, rural women and urban women to get engaged in such kind of businesses, because if there is no need to your product, there is no use of starting that business. You can start, you have to start your business only if there is a need, right? So all such kind of support has been provided by this Awake organization. Okay, so that is about your entrepreneurship skill development programs conducted by Awake organization. After that, entrepreneurship development program, EDP is different again, ESDP is different. Okay, entrepreneurship awareness program is different. Don't get confused with all these things. Awareness is before starting the business, they will give awareness. You can do this, you can do that, how you have to do, what will be outcome. So that is awareness. What is skill development? To start with any business, so what skill is required? Imparting those skills is nothing but entrepreneurship skill development program. Now, once you have established your business, you have to take your business to the next level. So then at that time, the picture of this entrepreneurship development program will be coming. Already you have an idea, already you have a business in your mind, you have already started with your business. At that time, you will be attending this entrepreneurship development program. So, dear all, so don't get confused with all these terminologies. Okay, EAP is different, EDP is different, and ESDP is different. Okay. So, entrepreneurship development program is a program meant to develop entrepreneurial abilities among the people. In other words, it refers to inculcation, development, and polishing of entrepreneurial skills into a person needed to establish and successfully run his or her enterprise. Awake conducts entrepreneurship development program for women and youth intending to start a business in urban and rural areas. Entrepreneurship training is imparted through structured training model, at the end of which the participant is expected to develop self-confidence and motivated enough to start an enterprise for their economic self-sustenance. The program comprises of various modules delivered through interactive sessions with experienced faculties. The methodology includes lecture session, group discussions, and specifically designed location-specific business games and case studies. They used to take the help of all these things and they used to deliver this entrepreneurship development program. Now we know what is entrepreneurship awareness program. After that, we know what is entrepreneurship skill development program, ESDP. After that, we know what is entrepreneurship development program, EDP. Now, trainers training program. So skills are not only required to the people who are going to engage in business. Skills are also required to the trainers. Okay. First, these trainers should be perfect. First, trainers should be having enough knowledge about the business. Then only they can, share that knowledge to the people in the rural area. So what government thought, let's train trainers also. So now I am a trainer. I train students to start with their own business. I train students to, I train students how to start with their startup. I train students how to come up with ideas. Even I need some training, right? So what government thought, instead of directly training, the end people, they wanted to train trainers also. The training field can change fast, which makes training for trainers crucial. Okay? So new methodologies, new discoveries about the way adults learn. Changing expectations from trainees and from your company. Training the trainer courses give you the practical platform skills and confidence you need to succeed. Okay, so needs of the trainees will be changing every time, and methodologies of the training. Previously, only we used to use blackboards and chalk pieces to provide training to the students. Now we have projector. Now with the technology that we are using now, it's a virtual platform, to train. Zoom technology. We are using Zoom application now, right? So likewise, the trainers also, they need some kind of training at every stage. Okay, because expectations of the trainees will be changing. So government has planned, let's train trainers also. Let's keep some training programs from the trainers also. This Awake organization, they used to conduct trainings for the trainers also. Okay. This powerful seminar puts the latest trends and techniques at your fingertips. Whether you have been training for a while or never stopped onto a platform before, this training for trainers workshop will show you how to become a facilitator of learning, not just a presenter. Okay. Now see, today I am using a Zoom application, right? I am your trainer today. I am training. I am providing you knowledge on what are the different schemes that are provided by government, to support women entrepreneurship. All of you know how to use Zoom application. That's why you are on the platform today. Being a trainer, if I don't know how to use the Zoom application, so can I conduct this session to you people? So it's not possible. So what government thought, let's train trainers also. Let's train how to use the online platform to train the participants. So in this way, they used to provide training to the trainers also. After TTP is nothing but trainers training program. So this is one more kind of program that Awake organization used to conduct. After that, we have management development programs. The last kind of program or training program that was conducted by Awake organization is nothing but management development program. The objective of MDP, that is management development program, is to enhance entrepreneurs' skills and technology upgradation in order to support growth and sustenance of their enterprise. Management programs and workshops on various topics such as finance, okay, how to manage finance related to your business, how to do tax planning, how to acquire computer skills related to your business, okay, information technology packaging, marketing, quality control, import and export, communication skills, and human resource management. All these things were coming under this management development programs. Okay, so Awake program, Awake organization, they used to conduct this management development programs also to women, okay, who were engaged in entrepreneurship. Okay, so now first we have seen a trade scheme. After that we have seen Awake scheme. Now in Awake scheme we have seen what were the different projects that were supported by Awake and what were the different kinds of training programs that were conducted by Awake. So after all these things, now we are going to our third scheme and a very important scheme, and crores together of people, they got benefited from this particular scheme, the very important scheme, that is Mudra scheme. Okay. So Mudra is nothing but micro units development and refinance agency. Okay, micro units development and refinance agency. Mudra Yojana scheme, a government scheme for small units, is also applicable to women who want to start a small enterprise such as beauty parlor, tuition center, tailoring unit, etc. Okay. Women entrepreneurs can avail of loans from 50,000 onwards and up to 50 lakhs. Okay. In Mudra scheme, women entrepreneurs can avail loan from 50,000 to 50 lakhs. It's a wonderful opportunity that is provided by Government of India. Our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji has given a wonderful opportunity to all the businessmen or all the people who want to start with their small scale business. They are required to present collateral and guarantors only if the loan amount exceeds rupees 10 lakh. Okay. See, I am telling you, in Mudra scheme, you can avail loan from 50,000 to 50 lakhs. So if your loan is below 10 lakhs, no need to provide any collateral security, no need to keep your property documents, no need to keep your job documents, job related documents and all. Okay, no collateral security is needed if the loan amount is below 10 lakhs. If the loan amount is above 10 lakhs, then the collateral security is required and one guarantor is also, two guarantors are also required. Okay. So under this Mudra scheme, there are 3 different plans. They have categorized, and each plan it will be targeting to specific group of people. Okay. So there are 3 plans under this Mudra scheme. First one we call it as a Shishu plan. First one is Shishu plan. Here loans up to 50,000 will be given for new business. Under Shishu plan, maximum loan that will be availed is 50,000. We have Kishore plan. Okay, if you want more money for your business, then you can opt which one? Kishore plan. Under Kishore plan, the loan will be from 50,000 to 5 lakh. Okay. Shishu plan means you want to start now itself. You want to start something new. You want to start it in small scale. Okay. So then you can go for Shishu plan. Already existing business is there. You want some more help, okay, to improve that business. During that time, you can go for, Kishore plan. So in Kishore plan, 50,000 to 5 lakh rupees will be given. And it will be given for well-established enterprises also. They will ask all your documents. And in the next section, I'm giving, okay, what are the different documents that they may ask you. Okay, I'm giving details about that thing also. Okay, for now, you just try to understand Shishu plan for the beginners, Kishore plan for already existing business. Okay, Tarun plan is also for already existing, but already existing since from very long time. Okay, and it has made, you know, good amount of, it has generated good amount of revenue till now. Okay, for such people, Tarun plan is there. Under Tarun plan, a loan from 5 lakhs to 10 lakhs will be given. Okay, under Tarun plan, loans from 5 lakhs to 10 lakhs will be given. Okay. Got it, students? Like, what are the different plans under Mudra Yojana? You can just raise your hands and tell. Okay, there are 3 plans under this Mudra scheme: Shishu plan, Kishore plan, and Tarun plan. Okay. So people started thinking that Mudra means there will be some office. We have to go to that office, and government will give money to the people who are going to start with the business. Is it so? Mudra means there will be some office called as Mudra. We have to go to that office, ask them, I want to do business. They give me 50,000. Will they give it in that manner? No. So Mudra scheme, it is implemented through banks. We have nationalized banks, right? State Bank of India is there, Canara Bank is there, okay? Then State Bank of Hyderabad is there. Okay? So through all these nationalized banks, this Mudra scheme is implemented. We have to go to our nearest bank, okay? Bank which is in our area, bank which is nearest to our business location. We have to approach the manager of that particular bank, and we have to approach with the proper documents. Okay, then they will avail the Mudra loan. Then they will give the Mudra loan. Okay. Borrowers can also file an online application also. Okay, there is one portal called as Udyama Mitra portal. Okay, we call it as Udyama Mitra portal. You have to go to that portal if you want to apply online for Mudra loan. Okay. If you want to apply offline, you have to go to the nearest bank. Say in your business location, some SBI bank is closer. Go to the manager of that SBI bank and ask him, I have so and so business. I am running this business from so many years. These are the documents to support my business. So please give me chance to take loan in the Mudra scheme. Then they will give you appropriate form. You have to fill that form. You have to attach all the required documents. You can take the loan from the bank in this manner through Mudra scheme. What is the eligibility criteria for Mudra loans? Okay, who are eligible? Who are eligible, to take Mudra loans? Small manufacturers, okay, like people who manufacture papad, candles, okay, then finals in their homes and all, so they can get this loan. Then artisans, then fruits and vegetable dealers, okay, then shopkeepers, okay, then individuals engaged with agricultural activities like livestock, poultry, pisciculture. So people who are engaged in all these things, they can take, Mudra loans. It is not for Mudra loan is not for, very well established organization. Infosys, TCS people, okay, and some small local company also, if you take, they cannot go and ask for Mudra loan. Okay, it is mainly to support small scale businesses and mainly to support already existing businesses. If they want to improve their already existing businesses, then they can apply for this Mudra loan. So what are the documents that are required for processing Mudra loan? Of course, for all the schemes that I am telling, you will require same documents. Okay, for all the schemes. Now we have seen Mudra scheme, Dena Bank scheme is there. Then other schemes are there. For all these schemes, we will require same documents. I will not repeat these documents once again. In other schemes, I will just highlight the important things of those schemes. I will not be repeating what documents you may require, to get this loan. So if you want to get a loan under Mudra scheme, what is the identity proof that you require? You may submit your PAN card, you may submit your voter's ID, you may submit your driving license, you may submit your passport, okay, or valid photo ID card issued by government employer, okay. So one out of these things, not all again. You may submit your PAN card also, or voter's ID, or driving license, or passport, or valid photo ID card issued by government employer. Okay. So for address proof, you can submit utility bills like a gas bill, electricity bill, property tax bills, and all. You can submit as a address proof. Aadhaar card will also be acting as a address proof. Passport, voter's ID, bank passbook, domicile certificate. You will be taking domicile certificate from Tahsil office, right? So residential certificate we call it as. So that thing also we can submit as a address proof. Then business proof. So how bank people should know that you are already running a business and you are already engaged into that business. So to show them that you are already running the business, you have to provide them certificate, you have to provide them license, registration copy, or any other documents confirming the existence of your business, okay, and the address of your business and the ownership of your business. Okay, so to let them know who is the owner of the business, where is the business location, and what is the nature of the business that you are doing. So you have to provide supporting documents to them. What are the other documents that are required? Photos of the business owners. You need to provide proof of SC, ST or OBC, etc. Because some schemes are only for SC, ST people or for OBC people. Okay. So to avail those schemes, you have to provide appropriate caste certificates again. They may ask you balance sheet of last 2 years. You have to give balance sheet of your business for last 2 years. Then income or sale
Just a few moments, sir will be joining back. I hope all the students who have joined over here are very clear about the concept, because tomorrow you'll be appearing for a test, online test. If you score more than 75% only, then you'll be getting your e-certificates. So now only you can note down and be very clear with whatever Sidram sir is telling. Sidram sir, you can continue. So all the students who are attending over here, just type in your chat what all schemes you have studied till now, what all sir has told in today's session. Type in your chat, that also will be noted. That is a part of your test also. I want all the students who are attending over here to please put it in the chat, what all schemes you have studied today. Schemes ಏನೇನು ಓದಿರಲ್ಲ ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ type ಮಾಡಿ ಹಾಕ್ರಿ. Whatever schemes you have studied today. Yes, I am getting the responses. If there is a spelling mistake also, it will not be considered. It's awake. Be very clear about the spellings also. You can put more than one. It is not restricted. You can put more than one. Don't take RIP as the other meaning. Very good, very good. I'm getting very good responses. That means all of you are awake. All of you are awake in this session.
Madam,
Okay, sir. Sir, you can continue.
Can you give me permission to share my slide?
Yeah, sure, sir. Sure. Wait a minute. Girls, you keep on typing. That will be considered. Sidram sir, PDA coordinator and join agirala.
How's it, madam?
I cannot see you. That's it. Yes. Yes, you can share now.
Okay.
Sidram sir, girls are typing. I have asked them to type the schemes that you have told them today.
Okay, okay.
That also will get consider into their test.
Sure, ma'am. Sure.
Girls, tomorrow at the end of the day, I will ask all of you to on your video and we'll have a group photo session also. So today, if you don't on your video, it will be much better.
ಈಗ ಬ್ಯಾಡ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟರ್ಬ್ ಆಗ್ತದ?
Sir, you can continue.
Am I audible to all?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Is my screen visible, ma'am?
Yes, yes, it is visible. You can convert into slide share.
Okay. So we have seen what are the business supporting, documents that are required to avail Mudra loan. What is the photo identity that is required? What is, what are the proof identities that are required to avail, Mudra loan. The other documents I told you, photos of business owners and partners, caste certificate, balance sheet of last 2 years, income or sales tax returns, bank account statement, partnership deed or memorandum and articles of association, sales made during current financial year and up to the loan application filing, estimated balance sheet for 1 year, business report certifying economic and technical viability of the business. So all these things are the other documents that we require for availing Mudra loan. So after Mudra loan, we have one more loan that is specifically for the food processing industries. Okay, so Annapurna scheme. Annapurna scheme is specifically for food processing, small scale food processing industries. So this loan can be availed in State Bank of Mysore. Annapurna scheme applies to women entrepreneurs who have started Annapurna scheme applies to women entrepreneurs who have started a food catering unit or wish to start one. Under Annapurna scheme, they can avail of a loan of up to 50,000 rupees, to purchase kitchen essentials, utensils, gas connections, raw materials required for their food processing and water filters, etc. Okay, so they can get 50,000 loan. Okay, in Karnataka, this particular Annapurna scheme is implemented through State Bank of Mysore. To avail this loan, a guarantor is required, and same documents I told you, to avail Mudra loan, same documents can be submitted to get this Annapurna scheme, Annapurna loan also. After securing the loan, it can be repaid in 36 installments. Okay, we have we will be having the 3 years time to repay our amount. It's a huge time that for 50,000, if they give 3 years, so hardly it will be, how much amount every month? 50,000 in 36 installments you have to repay. So how much amount it will be every month? How much installment you need to pay every month? Somewhere around 1,500 or so. Okay. So further interest rates under this scheme are decided as per prevailing market rates. Okay. So only 8 to 10% rate of interest will be there. So, and the interest rate may change depending on the market rates. So if anyone wants to start with catering business, okay, or food processing business, so you can avail loan through this Annapurna scheme. So after Annapurna scheme, we have Bharatiya Mahila Business Bank loan. Okay. So Bharatiya Mahila Business Bank loan. The scheme was implemented by Bharatiya Mahila Bank, which merged with the State Bank of India. I think some 4 years back, in the year 2017 or so, this Bharatiya Mahila Bank, it got merged with the State Bank of India now. This loan scheme is categorized under 4 types. We have 4 different categories again. So Bharatiya Mahila Bank Srinagar for beauty parlor or saloons and spas. Bharatiya Mahila Bank Annapurna loan for food catering. Bharatiya Mahila Bank SME for small scale enterprises. Bharatiya Mahila Bank Parvarish for daycare centers. Okay. So in each of the branch, it was dedicated for different sector of the loan. Okay. Each of the branch of this Bharatiya Mahila Bank, it was dedicated for different sector of loans. This scheme, which comes under the Credit Guarantee Fund Trust for Micro and Small Enterprises, involves loans up to rupees 20 crore for women business owners. Okay, so they will give loans up to 20 crores. So it's a huge amount. It's a huge support by this Bharatiya Mahila Business Bank. You can avail loan up to 20 crores. There is no need for collateral for loans up to 1 crore. Okay, up to 1 crore if you want to avail, no need to give any collateral security, no need to keep any documents, whether your property documents or your job documents, whatever they will keep it as a collateral, no need to keep them if the loan is less than 1 crore. If you want to get more than 1 crore loan, then you have to keep collateral security. Then you have to give guarantee. Okay. And what will be the tenure for this particular loan? 7 years. If you want to avail loan from this Bharatiya Mahila Business Bank, they will give you chance to repay the loan. Okay, they will give you 7 years tenure, okay, to repay your loan. So after this Bharatiya Mahila Business Bank, we have Mahila Udyama Nidhi scheme. Okay, Mahila Udyama Nidhi scheme. This scheme is offered by Small Industries Development Bank of India, SIDBI. Okay, in short, we call it as SIDBI. What is SIDBI? Small Industries Development Bank of India. Mahila Udyama Nidhi scheme is implemented through SIDBI. Mahila Udyam Nidhi scheme provides financial assistance of up to rupees 10 lakhs to women entrepreneurs to set up a new small scale ventures. Okay, maximum permitted loan amount under this Mahila Udyam Nidhi scheme is 10 lakhs. You cannot get loan above 10 lakhs. If you want to get loan above 10 lakhs, if your business uh, requirement is more, okay, if your business requires more loan, you have to go for, okay, Mudra loan, you have to go for Mela bank loan, okay, then only you can get more loan. But under this Mela Udyam Nidhi scheme, you can get only maximum 10 lakhs for your business. It also assists with upgrading and modernization of existing projects. Okay, new business people. Okay, if anyone is starting with his new business, his or her new business, okay, he or she can get the loan. Or if already existing business is also there, they can get the loan to improve their business. Okay, the loans are to be repaid within 10 years. Okay, they will give maximum time of how much? 10 years to repay the loan. It includes 5-year moratorium period. Okay, you know what do you mean by moratorium period? Can anyone tell me what is moratorium period? You people are from commerce background, right? You should be knowing these terminologies. A moratorium period, what is that?
Anyone who wants to answer can unmute yourself and answer. Okay.
Okay, so friends, moratorium period is nothing but it's a chance given by government. Okay, during which you need not pay your installment. During that period, you need not pay your installments. Okay, say now during Corona pandemic, we have seen that a lot of businesses they got collapsed. Okay, they were not able to generate revenue from their businesses. How they have to pay loan during this period? So now what government did? So they told till December or till December 2021, no need to pay your loan installments for 6 months. Okay, for 6 months, no need to pay your loan installments. This 6 months period, we call it as a moratorium period. Okay, so that is the grace period given by government. Okay, if people are in a situation like this corona pandemic situation, so they will not be in a situation to pay their loan installments. During such time, okay, government will take the decision. Yeah, no need to pay the installment because you are suffering from corona pandemic. So that period we call it as a moratorium period. Okay, so for your Mahila Udyama Nidhi scheme, what is the moratorium period? It is 5 years. 5 years government will give you chance. Even if you don't pay one installment for 5 years, okay, government is okay with it. Okay, so that thing we call it as a moratorium period. Interest rates on these loans can vary to market rates and from bank to bank. This Mahila Udyam Nidhi scheme, SIDBI, okay, again SIDBI will give chance to various banks to implement this particular scheme. Okay, and the rate of interest for this particular loan for this particular scheme will differ from bank to bank. After that, we have Dena Shakti scheme. Okay.
Sir, Sidram sir, can we stop here and continue tomorrow, or you want to continue?
We have only 3 more slides. We will complete it.
Okay.
Only 3 more slides are left out.
Okay.
If any other schemes are left out, we will continue with those things tomorrow. Now we have only 3 slides to go. We will complete those 3 slides.
Okay.
So, students, is it okay if I continue, or you want me to continue tomorrow? We will leave it on students then.
Yeah.
Continue, sir.
You might be thinking in your mind, so we have given 2 hours time today itself, so we don't want to give 2 hours tomorrow again, right? That's what is going on in your mind, right?
No, sir.
Okay, okay. I will in another 10 minutes I will complete. Okay. Last I just need 10 more minutes to complete those 3 slides. Okay. So Dena Shakti scheme. The Dena Shakti scheme provides a loans up to rupees 20 lakh for women entrepreneurs in agricultural, manufacturing, microcredit, retail stores, or similar small enterprises. Okay. So this scheme is providing loans up to rupees 20 lakh. That is the maximum permitted limit. Okay. For all the women entrepreneurs who are engaged in agricultural sector, okay, manufacturing sector, microcredit sector, retail stores, or similar small enterprises. Under the scheme, loan up to rupees 50,000 are offered under the microcredit category. Okay, loan will start from 50,000 and the maximum permitted limit is 20 lakhs. The rate of interest is charged as per the guidelines of Dena Bank. Okay, so Dena Bank is also operating under RBI directives only. So this bank will decide how much will be the rate of interest to the loan that it is giving. A concession or a rebate of 25 basis points in the rate of interest as applicable to existing activities is provided to women beneficiaries, subjected to some conditions again. Okay, so they will see your performance. Okay, after giving loan to you, they will see your performance. They will see how you are implementing your business, how good you are running your business, how many people got benefit from your business. They will see all those things, and they will give concession on the interest rates. Initially, if it is 10%, so if you have shown a good performance, if your business has reached a lot of people got benefited from your business, so they will give 25%, up to 25% exemption on your interest. If you are paying 5% interest, so say 4% interest, they will reduce it by 1% and they will take only 3% from you if you are a good performer. Okay, if you are following all the conditions put by them very clearly, so if you are following all those rules and running your business, they will definitely reduce the rate of interest. Okay, that is your Dena Shakti scheme. After that, we have Udyogini scheme. After Dena Shakti scheme, we have Udyogini scheme. It is implemented through Women Development Corporation. Okay, so almost all the states in India, they will be having this particular corporation, Women Development Corporation. Okay, this scheme provides subsidized loans to aspiring women entrepreneurs from rural and underdeveloped regions. Okay, Udyogini scheme is majorly focusing on rural and underdeveloped regions. Other schemes, they are running in urban areas also. Okay, but when you talk about Udyogini scheme, it is only for rural and underdeveloped regions. It extends interest-free loans of up to 3 lakhs. The highlighting point of Udyogini scheme is they are not taking any interest. They are giving up to 3 lakh to women entrepreneurs running a small scale industries. Okay, maximum permitted loan amount under Udyogini scheme is 3 lakhs. And one more important thing to remember is there is no interest charged for this particular loan. The government proposes up to 30% subsidy on loans extended under this scheme. Okay, you are taking 3 lakhs. What is the 30% of 3 lakh? What is 30% of 3 lakh? You are all commerce students. Calculate and tell me immediately. 90,000, right? So 90,000 will be the subsidy amount. If you take 3 lakh, you have to pay only 2 lakh 10,000. Remaining 90,000 will be paid by government to bank directly. Your responsibility is to pay only 2 lakh 10,000. women entrepreneurs between the ages of 25 and 65 with a family annual income of less than 1.5 lakhs can apply. Okay, there will be some eligibility criteria, right? Or else everyone will start applying. So who are eligible to apply for this Udyogini scheme? Any women entrepreneur between the age group of 25 and 65 with a family annual income of less than 1.5 lakh can apply for this Udyogini scheme. Sir, I am 75 years old. I want to apply for Udyogini scheme. Not permitted. Why? Because maximum age limit permitted for the beneficiaries of this Udyogini scheme is 65. The upper limit for income is not applicable for women under special categories. Okay. Now I told you income should be 1.5 lakh only. If your annual income is more than 1.5, they are not going to give you loan under this Udyogini scheme. But again, that particular condition is not applicable for disabled people, widowed people, or destitute people. Okay, for these people, even if they have more than 1.5 annual income, they can avail the loan because they will be disabled, because they will be widowed, or they will be destitute people. Okay, so for them, no need to put a condition. You should have only 1.5 lakhs annual income. Okay. Then one more scheme is Saint Kalani scheme. Okay. This particular scheme, it is offered by Central Bank of India. This scheme is for women business owners in multiple areas across manufacturing and services, including handlooms, food processing, garment making, etc. Okay. So it is provided by Central Bank of India. The purpose of the scheme is to provide loans to meet capital expenditure on plant and machinery, equipment, daily expenses, and others. So once they avail the loan, they will use it for what purpose? If they want to set up any new plant, okay, say milk vending machine they want to keep. Okay, they want to install one milk vending machine, so they can take the loan from Saint Kalani scheme and they can put that plant. Okay, daily expenses. Okay, there will be current bill, there will be rental. Okay, or they have to pay some labor charges. So all those expenses also they can give it from this borrowed loan amount only. Okay. So under this scheme, loans up to 1 crore will be sanctioned. Maximum loan limit in Saint Kalani scheme is 1 crore. Okay, 20% margin on the collateral. So whatever property documents you are giving, so they will see the valuation, market valuation of those property documents, and 80% amount of that particular property document which you are keeping, they will give you. Okay, the interest rates on loans depends on the market rates. Again, they will be changing from time to time as per the RBI guidelines. The interest rates will be changing. So friends, these are the various schemes okay, which are definitely supporting women entrepreneurship, and these are very famous schemes. Lot of beneficiaries, they got good benefits from these schemes, and they improved their business in very short span of time. Okay, this is the hand holding that is done from the government side, to improve the women entrepreneurship in various sectors. Again, ma'am, can we stop here?
Yeah, sure.
So thank you, students, for your patient listening. It was around 1.5 years or so. Sorry, 1.5 hours, I think, till now. So thank you for your patient listening. Tomorrow, so it will be only some 45-minute session will be there. We have some other schemes and very important schemes. I kept it for tomorrow. So tomorrow we will be logging in at 11 a.m. and we will close the session by 11:45. It will be only 45-minute session tomorrow. Thank you all. Thank you once again.
Thank you, sir. Girls, do you have any questions? Any questions to be asked? Anyone, any participants? If you have any questions, you can ask, sir. Anyone, do you have any questions? Okay, so if you have any questions, you can also write it down and you can ask it tomorrow. We'll have a very good questionnaire session tomorrow. And moreover, be prepared with all the schemes of today. Tomorrow you will be appearing for the test. Okay. So thank you, girls. Thank you so much. And tomorrow again, I'll be sending a new link to join. So it will be sent to one of your college staff or one of the student. If possible, I'll try to send it. So you can pass it on to your friends, those who have joined today, register the program. And all of you can join exactly at 10:50 tomorrow. By 10:30, I'll be sending you the link. If you all join up to 10:50, it will be easier for us to start at 11 o'clock. Okay. Thank you so much. And I'm also seeing over here, I have my madam, Dr. Sidhama madam today attending this session. Madam, thank you so much for your interest and very nice participation by your college students. And Suguna, she is my friend. Thank you, Suguna Basavaraj. And also thank you for your students' participation in this session. I thank all the students and staff who have joined the today's session. We'll be seeing tomorrow. Tomorrow exactly at 10:50, 10:30, I'll be sending you the link. By 10:50, you all can join. Thank you, one and all. Thank you.
Thank you, Uma.
Thank you, madam. Thank you so much.
Nice, nice. It was very nice.
Thank you, thank you.
I hope
Thank you.
students enjoyed.
Yeah,
And do arrange such. Yeah.
sure.
Huh?
Sure,
Okay.
madam. Sure, madam.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank you, madam. Thank you so much.
Okay, okay.
Yes,
Okay.
Suguna. Suguna is talking, I think. Okay. Okay, thank you so much. We will end over here and tomorrow we'll meet once again virtually. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.